I think it's a good deal because it meaningfully constrains Iran's nuclear program and pushes off the possibility of a military strike to curb Iran's nuclear ambitions. It's really, hardwired, and that's why I was emphasizing this point. It is making the best of a bad situation. A full rollback of the program would have been, the ideal outcome, but it was not an achievable diplomatic outcome because perhaps it was 10, 15 years ago, but not by the time this current round of negotiations began and Iran had a well-developed nuclear infrastructure, multiple sites, 19,000 centrifuges, deployed, not all of them spinning to enrich uranium. So the constraints are meaningful on the program, and it does the most important thing one can do in nonproliferation policy, which is to buy time. The agreement gives both sides a winning narrative. The United States can point to the meaningful constraints that have been imposed on Iran's nuclear program, the extension of the breakout period that Iran would need if it were to make a strategic decision to acquire a weapon. These are meaningful constraints, and they make the best of the situation that the administration inherited, where Iran had a mature nuclear program and a full rollback was no longer possible. Iran can point to this agreement as saying that it allows Iran to retain its quote-unquote right to enrich uranium, and that Iran stood up to the major world's powers and the bullying to maintain its sovereign right to a civil nuclear program under the Nuclear Nonproliferation Treaty.
Today, after 2 years of negotiations, the United States, together with our international partners, has achieved something that decades of animosity has not: a comprehensive long-term deal with Iran that will prevent it from obtaining a nuclear weapon.
President Obama is, so to speak, making a bet. This is a transaction, but it's a bet that if you buy time, 10 years, 15 years, that there could be a positive evolution in Iran as moderates get empowered and Iran moves toward becoming a more ordinary state. But this is the crux in Iran, the core unresolved question over Iran's identity. I think this was a harder decision to make in Tehran than it was in Washington.